everyone, it's me, Bahamutgreen. I'm back at it again with episode 2 of the Bahamutgreen podcast, finally. The first episode was in April, I believe, and I'm finally getting around to doing episode 2 in August, so that's not great. But last night I had kind of finally the drive to do it again, and so I wrote up like my script, or I rewrote the script, and now I'm finally actually doing this. So for everyone who's been waiting and begging and crying for episode 2, you're finally getting your wish. You're welcome. Yeah, I should have done the next episode while I was back then, but I was moving at the time, so it was a little tough to record, and then I finished moving and just kind of never really had the oomph to do it again. But like I said, I'm back now. And a big reason why I wanted to come back is because it actually there's a lot of games coming out that I really wanted to talk about, and I figured this might be a better place to gush about it than just going off on Twitter again. I will say, for this one, I don't have the pop filter. I am borrowing my brother's microphone again. But yeah, there's no pop filter. So the puh noises are probably going to be pretty insane. I'm going to edit out any weird noises, but don't be surprised if there's a siren or a train in the background, because of my new place of residence is very close to those things. And also, I have a dog in my lap, so don't be surprised if randomly barking happens. Yeah, a friend of mine was telling me I should make some sort of opening and closing lines, but I haven't really thought of any. I was like, maybe you could do something like, oh, yeah, welcome to the Dragon's Den, or something really stupid or cheesy like that. But that sounds like really high fantasy and not necessarily video game-esque. And also, I have finally actually been listening to some other podcasts to kind of get an idea of what to do. Because I believe I said last time that I don't really listen to podcasts. But I like the idea of them, and I've had ideas for podcasts for a long time now. That hopefully some of those will get off the ground eventually. But yeah, the two I've been listening to lately is I've been listening to more of Kojima's podcast, which is pretty good. I like that one. And I've been keeping up with the Team APS podcast, which is a Yu-Gi-Oh podcast. And they talk about a lot of stuff, but it's a Yu-Gi-Oh channel. And so, a lot of what they talk about is Yu-Gi-Oh related. I really like that one. I've been keeping up with it. I haven't finished the latest episode at the time of this video's recording. But overall, yeah, I do enjoy that one. They've been going at it for 17 weeks, and I couldn't even do it for 2 months. To be fair, though, it's 2 guys on it, so they actually have, chemistry. I don't have that. I don't have a lot of chemistry with myself. I guess that's it. That's it for the intro. So, hello again. I'm Bahamutgreen, as you all know. My favorite video game is Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars. And currently, I'm playing through Enchanted Arms, which is an Xbox 360 RPG by From Software. I don't know if it's actually... I don't think it's, the Dark Souls guys working on it. I kind of doubt it. I haven't, checked the 2 credits or anything, but it's pretty good. Enchanted Arms, I've been really enjoying it. It has some stuff that's kind of amiss in my opinion, but overall, I really like the gameplay. I think the world is interesting. It's a very charming Xbox 360 RPG. I think JRPGs on the 360 are just a really fascinating concept, and I've had Enchanted Arms for a little bit now and just never got around to playing it. Yeah, if you don't know anything about the game, it's turn-based, but it has it's also grid-based at the same time. If you ever played Eichenfell, it's very similar to that game's combat, where you're on a grid and your enemies are on a grid, and on your turn you move your characters around the grid and then attack, and each attack has a designated amount of tiles it can hit. It makes a lot of sense when I'm explaining it. I don't know if that gives you the idea of what it is, but it's very good. Again, I've been enjoying it. I liked Eichenfell too, so those are 2 RPGs for you to check out if you like turn-based RPGs with some strategy RPG mixed in. If you know Enchanted Arms, you might specifically know it has a gay teammate, and he is really wildly offensive. I was maybe not like offensive per se, I guess, but like he's like a huge stereotype, and I'm so blown away by the fact that anyone on the dev team was like, yeah, that's good. Post it. It's a shame because again, that's kind of like the only like problematic thing I can remember out the top of my head about it. They don't say like anything like mean to him, but he's literally like a gay character who talks like with a lisp, and genuinely like that's his voice. And I'm so blown away again that they thought that was an okay thing to do. Other than that small little kind of homophobic thing, it's a really good game so far. At least I've been enjoying it. It's a charming little game. All right, now on to the news. Yeah, this script was written so long ago that a Thousand Year Door remake was a prevalent rumor I thought to talk about in the original version of the script. Also, Sludge Life 2 was new. Like, that was going to be in my news section, which, that's crazy. That is so long ago now. There is so much more new stuff to talk about. Yeah, I've got a list of some new games. Specifically, these are kind of all newer stuff that appeals to me. But I'm assuming if you're listening to this, it's probably only stuff that really appeals to you as well, because we're probably very like-minded. So first up, there's a new 2D Mario, and it looks amazing. When they first showed it in the Nintendo Direct, I thought it looked like, I was like, oh man, this looks kind of ugly. And then the trailer like continued for like 2 more seconds, and I was like, never mind, I'm an idiot. This game looks amazing. Yeah, Super Mario Wonder, it looks super cute. I'll talk about it a little bit more, but that game looks amazing. There's a new Princess Peach game, which is fantastic. I'm a huge fan of Super Princess Peach on the DS, and I'm so blown away by the fact that they just never thought to make another one. Because the original on DS is really good. Like I think Super Princess Peach is a fantastic game, and Princess Peach is super popular, and especially right now, like I feel like everyone loves the princesses so much. It's crazy to me that they just never went back to give Peach another chance. But finally it's happening. We know basically nothing about it, but it's Princess Peach. She has different dresses. It's like stage play themed. It looks super cute. I can't wait for it. That game's going to be amazing. Yeah, next up at the same Direct, they announced a Dark Moon remake, which that's crazy to me because I really did not think anyone but me liked Dark Moon. People swore up and down for so long that Dark Moon sucked because it had the mission-based system. And I loved that game. I loved Dark Moon. I remember I would play it nonstop when it came out. Because Luigi's Mansion is like the first one is one of my favorite games of all time, and I was so happy it got a sequel. And I like just blasted right through the story mode when it came out originally. And I really liked it. I really love Dark Moon. It's got some issues. Dark Moon's getting a remake, which is fantastic. Hopefully people will give it another chance now, because everyone loved Luigi's Mansion 3, even though that game did actually suck. So hopefully people will go back and give Dark Moon another chance and realize that Dark Moon's actually really good. After that, yeah, there's a new 2D Sonic coming out, Sonic Superstars. That game looks super cute. I like that it's like New Super Mario Bros. Kind of. It reminds me a lot of New Super Mario Bros. Just recently at Gamescom, they showed a new trailer that showed a battle mode where you can make your own custom Badnik. That is super cool. I love anything that lets me make my own character. You know, I kind of thought maybe after Forces they would never do character customization, but nope. It's here. It's back. And overall, that whole game just looks super cute. But more importantly than that is Sonic Frontiers DLC. They also finally showed off the Final Horizons DLC at Gamescom. I actually still have not played around with the last DLC update that lets you like refight the bosses and do photo mode. You can tell I didn't play around with photo mode because my entire Twitter would have been covered in screenshots from that game. Yeah, I'll probably talk a little bit more about the Sonic Frontiers DLC in a second, because I have a lot to say about it because it looks really cool. I'm going to talk a little bit more about games I'm excited for, because there's a Mario RPG a little more prevalent than Thousand Year Door right now that I want to talk about. But before we get there, some other news. Starfield is really big. Like, everyone's talking about that. I don't know if people really want me to talk about gaming news in general, like stuff that I don't really know about, but Starfield looks neat. Obviously, I'm not like the world's biggest expert on like the Bethesda RPGs. I played Skyrim. I never beat it, but I really liked messing around in Skyrim. I think Skyrim is just really goofy and funny. I never really got into Fallout because it's really depressing. I'm not a huge fan of that aesthetic. But, I mean, I like space, and I don't think I have any consoles that can run Starfield, but I'm interested. I mean, I'll check it out whenever I get the chance. I'll definitely play Starfield and goof around for a little bit in it. But more important than any of that, the biggest piece of Mario news right now, and probably the most important video game news at the moment, is Charles Martinet is retiring from voicing Mario. Everyone's talking about it. It was a huge deal. People were freaking out. I saw some people getting mad at Nintendo for firing him. I won't go into it too much, but like that's obviously not what happened. I don't know. That is, Nintendo does a lot of stupid stuff, but that is such a weird thing to read between the lines and grab, that like Nintendo fired him. For me personally speaking, I'm not really too sad about the news. It's not sad that Charles Martinet is leaving. Like, he's been doing it for so long. Like, I want to say, like, what, it's been like, oh man, has it been almost 30 years now? Because I was gonna say it's 20, but no, like 20 years ago was 2003. Oh my god, that's disgusting to think about. He's been doing it for a shit ton of time, the voice of Mario, and I can't imagine it's still easy to do. Like, he's 67 now, I think. I can't imagine doing that high-pitched voice is still easy for him. And also, like, yeah, it's never sad when someone gets to retire and doesn't have to work anymore. That's fantastic. Good on him. I'm very happy for him. And I was talking to some of my friends about it. And in my opinion, like, I would really prefer he retires rather than having him voice Mario until he passes away. Because this way he can train someone else to do the voice. Yeah, now Charles Martinet actually has the chance to train whoever comes next, which apparently in Super Mario Wonder, it's looking like, yeah, he actually is, it is a new voice actor. And I think that voice in Super Mario Wonder is really good. Like, I really like that voice. He sounds almost perfect. When people were talking about, like, that's not Mario, I straight up didn't even catch it. I didn't even notice it. So I think he's doing a great job. But yeah, I'm just happy for Charles Martinet. He is fantastic. He's super nice and super talented. I'm interested if he's going to retire from voice acting 100% or just from Mario, again, he's super talented and he does so many voices. He has a lot of range. I met Charles Martinet once at a convention. It was at Dragon Con, I think, and I went specifically for the sole purpose of meeting him. And I got him to sign my copy of Super Mario Sunshine, and I took a picture with him. Something about Charles Martinet that no one is bringing up, that's very important, is that guy is tall as hell. He is super tall. I consider myself to be pretty tall. I went to school with, like, there was maybe like 2 other people who were taller than me throughout school. So like, I'm pretty tall. I haven't measured myself in a while. I don't want to reveal my height and then have it turn out that I'm stupid and I'm not tall. But I'm pretty tall. I hit my head on a lot of things. And Charles Martinet, he was sitting there, and obviously while he's sitting, he's shorter than you. And I was like, yeah, like, can I get a picture with you? And he was like, sure. And he stood up and just towered over me, and I had to look up, and I was like, what? Huh? Because I'm like, he voices Mario. He's got to be short like Mario, right? That's the guy he plays. But no, dude, Charles Martinet is tall. But yeah, and I remember I was super nervous because, like, that's literally Mario. He, like, you know, obviously Mario was made by Miyamoto, but Charles Martinet, like, really gave Mario, like, a lot of life. And I feel like Mario just straight up would not be the same. No, I know for a fact, Mario just straight up would not be the same character if Charles Martinet was not voicing him. So much to the point where I actually think that the whole Mario franchise would not be the same if Charles Martinet wasn't voicing it. Like, if they had gone with the Mario 64 beta voice where he screams like Mel Blanc. Yeah, like, he's super important, and that whole franchise is super important to me, especially at that time. I was, you know, full force into my Mario-ness. You know, I've kind of fallen off a little bit, which is probably why I'm able to look at this whole situation a little more calm. But yeah, I remember, like, I was telling him that, like, Mario, you know, like, really changed my life, and that it's a super important series to me. and that like, you know, like his work on Mario like really affected me, and I was so nervous and I couldn't say it, and we were both so awkward, and he was like, hey, you know, never give up. It was just something like generic like that, and then we took the picture together, and it was just it was so awkward, but I mean, it was really touching. And yeah, he signed my copy of Super Mario Sunshine, and I still have that copy. It's so special. I really love that. I was gonna get him to sign Super Mario RPG, because even though he didn't voice Mario in that, like, he just is Mario, and that's my favorite Mario game. But I was like, I should get him to do something. I should get him to sign something he actually did voice work in. And I was like, well, he does a bunch of voice work in Sunshine, and Sunshine's like my favorite 3D Mario, so, you know, easy choice. Got a little sidetracked there, but yeah, overall, really happy for Charles Martinet. Really happy he gets to retire. Like, I see him every day on Instagram. He's posting up like some new place he's in, where he's eating new food and, you know, going to a new convention. I'm really happy for him. I hope he does still do voice acting. I'm pretty sure he's probably gonna do cameos. Like, it would not surprise me if he still cameoed in Mario games, because I mean, he cameoed in the Mario movie. So I would be really shocked if he just doesn't appear in Mario games at all anymore. Like, maybe he'll show up as like enemies or something, or, you know, or I guess if they ever choose to bring in Mario's dad, Charles Martinet will probably voice him. Yeah, my God. He's been doing it for so long. I'm really happy he gets to retire from it and kind of bow out on his own terms and stuff. And yeah, nothing but the best for him going forward. That's fantastic to me. Like, straight up, again, that is not sad news. That, like, whenever someone gets to retire, that's good news. I love to hear that. I love hearing news that people do not pass away. Yeah. All right. So yeah, the main thing for this, I guess this is still technically the news section, is I really just want to talk about some games that are coming out that I just kind of want to gush about a little bit more. So first of all, coming out August 29th, that's in 4 days as of recording this. Knowing my ass, it's going to take me 20 years to edit this, so the game will probably be out by the time this video goes up. But as of right now, it's still 4 days away. Is Sea of Stars. It's which is an indie RPG by Sabotage Games. It was the same people who did The Messenger, and it just looks so good. I've actually had my eyes on this one for a little bit now. I found out about it when I saw like a random screenshot for it in a Game Informer magazine. This was like way earlier. This was like maybe like 2020 when I saw this. I don't remember. I just had to specify because Game Informer did do a whole issue about Sea of Stars. Yeah, Sea of Stars just looks absolutely amazing. Yeah, the sprite work in it just looks absolutely, like, amazing. Seriously, like, I saw in, like, some I was watching some footage of it, and I think there's, if it's not necessarily a day and night cycle, which that's my favorite thing in a video game ever, there is definitely the ability to change between day and night, and I assume, like, there are probably, like, side quests that can only be done at night, enemies that only appear, like, in the day, stuff like that. It also has a guest composer, Yasunori Mitsuda, who did music on, like, Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross, which are some of my... Those games have such amazing music. I was listening to, I think, Scars of Time, the intro to Chrono Cross yesterday. I don't know if he did that song specifically, but, I mean, any songs in Chrono Cross are absolutely amazing. You can just pick any song and it's a good song. Knowing that he worked on that and they were able to get him to do a song for their indie RPG is just mind-blowing to me. That is so cool. The combat also looks really good. There was a demo, but I didn't want to play it because I just want to go in completely blind to it. But, you know, I've been watching some gameplay, and I know it actually has action commands, like from the Mario RPGs. Full on the Moon Girl character, she has a move where she shoots out like a little moon sickle, and it hits an enemy, then bounces back to her, then you have to hit it and bounce it back, and it looks exactly like the Koopa Shell from Partners in Time, which is so funny to me. That's awesome. Yeah, that whole game just really looks super good. I cannot wait. I don't know what the price of it is. I'm right now I'm really broke, so I might not be able to get it right when it launches, but I'm going to keep a close eye on it because I really want to play Sea of Stars like as soon as possible. But I mean, you know, sometimes you just kind of gotta take a backseat. Like there are other games coming out that might just be a little bit more important for me to play right away, and I might have to save my money for that. But I mean, you know, I always get around to it eventually. Yeah, next up is Super Mario Wonder, which again just looks so cute. The first game apparently with these new voice actors, with the new voice actor for Mario and Luigi. It looks amazing. So obviously, I prefer 3D Mario, and I really wish we were getting like Odyssey 2 or something. But to be fair, yeah, we did just recently get Bowser's Fury not too long ago. Actually, that may have been... Oh god, how old is Bowser's Fury? When did that come out? It was only like 2 years ago when Bowser's Fury came out. I just looked it up. Yeah, it was 2021. And that game, Bowser's Fury, was amazing. So we've already had like a recent brand new 3D Mario experience. Whereas it's been a long time since the last 2D Mario. I don't even remember what the last one was. Was it U? New Super Mario Bros. U? That game was also really good. And I admit, I've actually been kind of really wanting another New Super Mario Bros. Like, I've been really wanting them to take a step back and try to make, like, something really brand new with New Super Mario Bros. I love those games, but even I have to admit, like, the last 3 games have been taking a lot of elements from each other. And New Super Mario Bros. U really has, like, a bunch of new stuff. Like, there's brand new bosses in it and stuff like that. And even New Super Mario Bros. 2 brought back Reznor, which was really cool. But I've been really just wanting something just wholly new from 2D Mario, even if it was part of the New Super Mario Bros. Series. And Super Mario Wonder is just, that's exactly what I wanted. It's got like a brand new art style. It's got tons of playable characters. Princess Peach is playable in it. Finally! Oh my god, finally! I can't believe it's taken this long to put Princess Peach playable in a 2D Mario again. Holy crap. And Princess Daisy is playable in it. If you don't count New Super Mario Bros. Run, this is her first main series appearance. That's fucking fantastic. That is so fantastic. I can't believe, like, why on earth are they so hesitant to add Daisy to stuff? I'm glad they're finally coming around to putting her in things. And I'm glad they didn't remove playable Toad, even though, like, having 2 playable Toads was really stupid. It's not their fault, you know. I love Buckenberry and Olive Gold. Those are my boys. I don't want them gone. You know, I just kind of would like them to not replace Princess Peach. I'm glad that the Toads are still playable, and also Yoshi's playable. You can play as Yoshi and you can ride Yoshi at the same time. Like, that's really awesome. That's really interesting. I'm assuming that's probably like to help younger players, so like the older player can play as Yoshi and the younger player can play as Mario, and the older player can guide him. Yeah, and, like, there's a ton of new enemies in it. Again, I was tweeting about the new Bullet Bill variant. Its name is going to be Missile Mike. You heard it here first. Nintendo Land or whatever, there's a YouTuber who said his name was going to be, like, Rocket something. I don't remember. Rocket Ricky or something like that. No. Foolish. It's Missile Mike. My Missile Mike warriors. You know, we gotta we gotta stand strong with Missile Mike. Although, yeah, Rocket Rick isn't a bad name. But, I think I came up with that one, too. Remember that. If it's Rocket Rick, you heard it here first. Yeah, tons of new enemies, new gameplay. The part with, like, the gross tall Mario is so weird. But it does actually also silhouette levels, like Donkey Kong Country. Some of the nicest looking levels in the Donkey Kong Country games. In like the second, in like the new Donkey Kong Country games, seems like Mario Wonder's gonna have some of those. I loved the one with the Dino Rhinos running in like a stampede and they break the flagpole. That looks super cute. The rolling like thing Mario transformed into, and of course Elephant Mario. That's crazy. I haven't been keeping up super well with it. I don't know, like, if there are other new power-ups coming. I thought I saw someone say that there might be more animals than just elephant, but I don't know if that's just me wishful thinking, because I was thinking about that too. Like Luigi has like a giraffe, Peach is like an ostrich, just random crap like that. But regardless, Elephant Mario is super cute. I'm very excited to see the other elephant characters. Like, someone said, like, there's so much potential for Elephant Yoshi, and I completely agree. I cannot wait to see Elephant Yoshi. And I wonder, like, if there's going to be more playable characters. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Rosalina shows up. Like, you can unlock her after you beat the game, just like 3D World. That would not surprise me at all. Like, now that Donkey Kong had such a big role in the movie, I could totally see them adding Donkey Kong as a playable character. That would be so cool. Like, if they do DLC playable characters for Mario Wonder, like, I'm a total sucker. I'll totally buy all that. And also, yeah, there's some stuff with, like, Prince Haru or whatever from the Mario OVA might be in it as that little caterpillar guy. I do not like that character, but I actually was not aware he was the most hated Mario character ever until recently. That's very funny to me. good. I don't like him either. But I wouldn't necessarily complain if that is what they're going with for this, like recycling that concept. Yeah, just as long as he doesn't marry one of the princesses in the end, that would be so lame. But yeah, Super Mario Wonder, I can't wait. That's in October, I believe. Super Mario Wonder. I really should have looked this stuff up beforehand, but whatever. That game looks super good. Moving on, Sonic Superstars. I talked about it already a bit. Again, I always will prefer 3D Sonic, but we are literally in the middle of 3D Sonic, so I'm not going to expect them to release another 3D Sonic to compete with Sonic Frontiers. It's the perfect time for a new 2D Sonic, and yeah, unfortunately, like no new Sonic Advance with Shadow, or no new, Sonic Rivals 3. I think I'm the only person on the planet who wants that. Sonic Superstars looks so freaking cute. It's got 4-player co-op. I'm so glad that Sega is finally like, oh, people actually want to play as Amy? Huh? Girls play games? No way. I'm so happy Amy's finally getting included in shit. Like, that's so overdue. I believe she could go super in Sonic Origins, right? I didn't play Sonic Origins. I replayed the original trilogy, like, the week before that was announced. So I had absolutely no reason to buy that collection. But still, yeah, playable Amy, that's fantastic. I'm glad, like, they're doing, like, playable Sonic characters again. It's crazy to me that Classic Sonic is like the only thing allowing you to play as non-hedgehogs. I know Sonic Forces let you play as your custom character, but and while the custom character was like the best part of Sonic Forces, technically it was still just a hedgehog. I know the gameplay was unique, but not like drastically unique or anything like that. Like you couldn't make them glide or whatever, like Knuckles. Yeah, again, I guess Forces really does kind of count, but I don't know. It doesn't feel as good as, like, having, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being, like, too greedy. I just don't necessarily know if I don't necessarily know if the OC, as cool as it was, scratched the same itch as being able to just straight up play as, like, Tails or Amy. And yeah, like, you could play as Classic Sonic, recently, and Shadow was also in Forces, but those are just hedgehogs. Like, they straight up play the same exact way, so that does not count. But yeah, like, Mania and Superstars are actually doing multiple playable characters, and obviously Frontiers is too, but we'll get to that. But yeah, I'm super excited for the battle mode. Like I was saying earlier, that looks so cute. Again, any chance to make my own custom character, and I'm there with bells on. I wonder if those badniks will scratch that same itch. We'll see. Yeah, Fang the Sniper is back. That's awesome. He was also in Mania, but that was like an illusion version of him. This is straight up actually Fang the Sniper. That's crazy. There's like a new lizard villain in it, like a clumsy lizard girl or something. I don't fully know, but from that description, she sounds like the best Sonic character of all time, so I'm very excited to see that. I like the idea, like, the Chaos Emeralds give you, like, quirky little powers. That's cute. I'm very interested to see what comes of that game, because it looks really cute. And, again, I love New Super Mario Bros., and this looks like Sonic New Super Mario Bros., so I'm totally there. Yeah, and next up, speaking of Sonic, is Sonic Frontiers DLC. Finally, we're getting that new story mode they were talking about. That was revealed at Gamescom, and it's a very short teaser trailer. It just shows you, like, one of the new Guardians or Titans, I don't remember what they were called. And like Eggman is there. Eggman and Sage are there with us. Sage got new shoes. Yeah, I can't really remember anything else important that happened in that trailer. Yeah, Sonic goes super, and he looks like he attains a new form of super, like Super Saiyan 2 is what people were saying, like it's Super Sonic 2. I kind of figured this was gonna happen at some point. But I thought like maybe it was going to be like Hypersonic would come back, or they would finally let some of the other characters go super. I'm still not 100% sure what's happening with that. They say we're going to finally have playable characters other than Sonic again. That's really what it's seeming like. I mean, that's what it says is new playable characters. So I'm expecting to be able to play as Knuckles, Tails, and Amy, at least. If Eggman is playable in this, I would lose my mind. I don't know what they would do for that, like, but I would absolutely love for Eggman to be playable. I'd love for Sage to be playable too, but we'll see. And if all of them can go super, including Eggman and Sage, Oh, I'd lose my mind. But I'm very interested to see what this new Sonic is. I also thought it may have been like they were gonna do like corrupted Sonic, because that's how I thought Frontiers in of itself was gonna end, was with a new super form. I still really love that final boss, even though it didn't do that. And I do think the final boss should have been like the other bosses, but I mean, you know me, I'm not gonna complain about that type of gameplay. It was so easy, that final boss. I breezed through that. I only died like once, and then I beat it immediately afterwards. Yeah, I'm kind of, I'm just so good at video games, you guys. But yeah, I really love Sonic Frontiers, like the base game. I thought it was absolutely amazing. Like, I was really blown away by it. I had like some critiques about it. Like, I wasn't crazy about like the mountain world. I thought like getting around the different mountains was like really difficult, and I didn't like pinball. And again, like I thought it kind of laid on a lot of like the references and lore building really thick. Like, it felt maybe a little too fan servicey, but again, after like the past couple years of Sonic have been like really intense about like Sonic lore is stupid, you are an idiot if you like it, I will absolutely take oversaturation of like Sonic fan serviciness any day. They reference the Black Arms, Shadow the Hedgehog video game is alive and well, Sonic Frontiers just looks really amazing. I cannot wait for this DLC. I read a lot of leaks for the original game, but I'm kind of trying to avoid it this time just because I liked that original game so much. I'm very excited to see where we go from here. I believe this is probably going to be the last DLC they release for it, but that's okay. I'm happy it got like a DLC expansion at all. Like I'm really happy it got a new story in its DLC. I'm always a big fan of stuff like that. Of like, just like a new story mode coming out a little later, giving you something new to do. Yeah, so we'll see from there. And actually, that reminds me, before we get to the final subject, they actually also released the Mario Rabbids DLC, which is a little pricey if you want to get all of it, so I haven't bought it yet, but there's like the new one with the Koopa Bomb Rabbid Girl, the Last Spark Hunter, and that's the name of the thing. And I think the Rayman DLC may have launched. I honestly have not kept up with it, but I'm excited for that one too. I'm definitely gonna be picking them up and playing them soon. But yeah, and lastly, and most importantly for the games I want to talk about, is there is a special game that's very special to me that's getting a remake. And that is Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars is finally getting something happening to it. It's been ported to stuff, like it got ported to Wii U. It was on that SNES mini thing, and it had like a Geno and Mallow spirit, the Geno Mii costume. Geno got removed from Superstar Saga, that technically counts, that's something, he was in the news. But no, now just full on Super Mario RPG is just getting a remake, and it looks incredible. I am seriously so blown away by how good it looks. Like, it looks similar to like the modern Mario art style, but it also still looks similar to the old art style. Like, it looks like the modern Mario graphics got like scrunkly down to little 25-cent machine toys. To little Keshi dolls. It's a reference. Yeah, they got scrunched down to little Keshi dolls. Like the dolls that were made for Super Mario RPG back in the day. I have the Geno one. Anyway. Yeah, and like it's actually got like some new gameplay mechanics which are very interesting. It's got brand new cutscenes. It's looking like there might be like a team super attacks, which is very exciting. It looks like it's gonna be a hell of a lot easier than the original, which is crazy to me because the original is a very easy game. But hey, I'm not gonna complain. Whatever, that's fine. Yeah, I would actually, I love this game so much that if they added in like a nightmare mode, I probably would actually play through it. I never play through stuff like that, but I do it for Super Mario RPG. And the new Geno and Mallow renders look absolutely amazing. Like, the new Geno render looks leagues better than the Geno Mii costume, and I thought that Mii costume looked really good when it was added. It's got the right colors, like the perfect body proportions. Mallow also has just the perfect colors. It's exactly how they should look. They look amazing. And like there aren't, like I know a lot of people when this stuff comes around, they get really nervous about changes because like the Superstar Saga remake had a lot of changes, but it's important to keep in mind that game had a lot of really unfortunate circumstances going on around it, whereas this one seems like the Super RPG remake feels like it's made not necessarily out of like necessity, if that makes sense. I have a lot of opinions on the Superstar Saga remake. It's a good remake. If you didn't try it and you like Superstar Saga, you should play it. It's better than you think it is. But we're not here to talk about Superstar Saga, are we? We're here to talk about Super Mario RPG, which didn't just have a cameo for Geno, he was in it. And everyone looks amazing, like, the new music, like, the remixes sound so good. I believe Yoko Shimomura is actually coming back to redo it. The little part in the trailer where Yuridovich is there and it starts playing Fight Against an Armed Boss is so fucking good. It looks amazing. I am so excited for this game. Again, Super Mario RPG has been my favorite game for years now. I think I played it back in, like, 2010 or 2011. Oh god, it may be like 10 years now. Holy crap. That's crazy. Since I first played Super Mario RPG. Or rather, first beat Super Mario RPG. And I'm just so happy it's finally getting a remake. Again, it looks incredible. The music is incredible. Something I'm particularly really interested about is if there's going to be new content. Like, if there are going to be, like, maybe some new bosses. Like, they should do will they do like Luigi's side story? I doubt it. Even if it's just a straight up 1-to-1 remake with the game, I'm very happy with it. This one I'm gonna have to get day one. It doesn't matter how broke I am, I will pay full price to get this game day one. I love Super Mario RPG. I'm so happy Geno's in the news again. I'm so happy Mallow's in the news again. I'm so happy, like, I can't wait for people to, like, play this game for the first time and see how amazing these characters are and see just how cute it all is and see Mario do his goofy little transformation stuff and see all the goofy crap that happens in this game. I'm really interested to see, like, how they update some of the jokes, like, how is the script gonna change, because it definitely will change. I'm assuming they're probably just gonna do, like, a lot of the Japanese script this time, kind of stay a little closer to that, but regardless, like, I'm just so excited to see where we go with this remake, and, like, not to sound greedy, but, like, I really think, like, Geno and Mallow might start appearing in more stuff after this. Like, I think now, like, yeah, they might actually be in Smash Bros. Now. I'm gonna lose my mind. Like, maybe they'll be in Mario Kart? Oh, I'm so fucking excited, dude. Oh, I cannot wait. Dude, you have no idea. Catch me there, fucking practicing my Mallow tech every single day in Smash Bros. Until I explode. Yes, entering all the Mario Kart tournaments as Smithy. Oh, man, I can't fucking wait. I probably will. I could do an entire episode just about Super Mario RPG. And honestly, just do an entire episode just how excited I am for the remake. I'm very excited. I cannot wait. I'll keep y'all posted on my thoughts and opinions on that. But as of right now, it looks absolutely amazing. And I cannot believe it's really happening. All right, but from here, I guess, it's time to get into the actual meat and potatoes of the video. Last month I mentioned that I don't have a lot of memories with the N64, despite liking some of its games. But during my moving process, I finally was able to get Nintendo Switch Online plus Expansion Pass, which took a lot of work. I had to get 8 friends who were each willing to give me $10. But I found myself playing a bunch of N64 games, like, while I was sitting here and just relaxing. And I realized that, like, no, I just forgot about how much I love N64 and how much of these games I played. Just, like, for one reason or another, I just kind of forgot how much I liked the N64. But now I just kind of want to do an entire episode about the N64 to apologize to it for just totally straight up forgetting everything about it. So this episode, I'm just literally just going to be talking about different N64 games I like, or N64 games I have, like, some nostalgia for, or just some memories of in some way. I think a big reason that I kind of forgot about N64 is because, like, I just don't play those games a whole lot. Like, SNES games and GameCube games are insanely easy to emulate. And I now know N64 games are really easy to emulate. I've been playing, like, Smash 64 Remix, which is super fucking fun. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit more. But, and like, GameCube is really easy to play, like, on my Wii and stuff. SNES, those games get ported to everything. But N64 doesn't get ported around as much, So, like, I kind of just forgot about a lot of stuff that I really love from the console. Yeah, and so, again, just to make up, just to apologize for forgetting about it, I figured the whole episode will just be about N64 games. Why not? So first up, the first game we're going to be talking about today is Banjo-Kazooie. I got them listed here, mostly alphabetically. So Banjo-Kazooie. This game, I actually have a weird amount of nostalgia for, considering I didn't beat it until Banjo-Kazooie got added to Smash Bros. That's when I finally sat down and played through the whole game. but I still weirdly have like a lot of nostalgia for it. I had a Banjo-Kazooie VHS tape that went over like all the worlds, and I watched that shit so many times. I found it at a thrift store when I was a kid, and I just watched the hell out of that VHS tape. Like, oh man, so many times it's not even funny. And then my dentist growing up had N64 games you could play. And they had a copy of Banjo-Kazooie, and I would go and I would play it a lot. And I would listen to the music a whole bunch. And yeah, even though like I didn't really play Banjo-Kazooie much for some reason, I just was really enamored with the game. Probably specifically because of that VHS tape. And I actually played like a lot of Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge on Game Boy Advance. I actually beat that game before I beat the first Banjo-Kazooie. But yeah, like I said, when Banjo-Kazooie got announced for Smash, which I freaked out about, I was so hyped for that. And I'm not even like, at that point, I really was not into Banjo-Kazooie, but I like flipped out the moment that Jiggy came on screen. It was cool. It's incredible to me that they actually managed to make that happen. And also, like, Banjo-Kazooie are so freaking cute. So that's a win for everyone. And yeah, I hooked up the N64 and I decided to finally sit down and beat that game. I liked it. Yeah, you know, like for as much as I enjoyed it, I just thought like the kind of whole like final act of the game kind of really just rubbed me the wrong way, and I did not have a particularly fun time going through that. But, you know, everything other than that is great. I still love, like, Bubble Gloop Swamp is maybe my favorite level in that game. I think about it a lot. It's just a really cute game. I recently played a little bit of it on my phone. When I first got Game Pass, when I was first toying around with Game Pass, I tried out playing it on my phone, Banjo-Kazooie, because you just can. And, like, yeah, I 100% completed Mumbo's Mountain. And it was just so interesting to me, just like, yeah, like that's technology now, man. You can play Banjo-Kazooie on your phone. That's crazy. But yeah, I haven't really progressed in the series past that point. I've beaten the first one. I've beaten Grunty's Revenge. I played a bit of Banjo Pilot. I started Banjo-Tooie, but I didn't beat it. And I started Nuts and Bolts, but I didn't beat it. I might sit down and play through the rest of the series eventually. I hear a lot of good things about Tooie. I don't hear a lot of good things about Nuts and Bolts. I hear a lot of people say that Nuts and Bolts is underrated, which I believe. But yeah, like the actual like original game in of itself, like I do have a lot of nostalgia for. And I quite enjoy it. I think it's a pretty good game. Again, I think it would be perfect if the finale wasn't so fucking bleh. But other than that, yeah, it's a really good game. I quite enjoyed it. Yeah, next up I have Donkey Kong 64, which I actually have not beaten yet. It's one of the only Donkey Kong games I haven't actually beaten. But I used to play this one a lot too, but mostly I would just run around DK Isle and just goof around and stuff. And sometimes I'd enter some levels and do stuff, but I never really seriously sunk my teeth into it. But sometime soon, actually, I should probably sit down and try and finish it. A lot of people don't like this game. I think nowadays a lot of people are starting to come out in defense of it. Yeah, like I always thought it was cute. Like I think like Tiny Kong is cute. I'll be honest, I do actually prefer her redesign. But you know, I don't know why they're the same character, but Tiny Kong is cute. I wish Chunky Kong came back more because I really like him. Even Lanky Kong, I like Lanky Kong. Yeah, considering how big of a meme the two of them are, I'm kind of surprised they don't show up more. I think was Chunky Kong a spirit in Smash Bros? Chunky Kong's real. I saw him at the Nintendo demos. Like I know there was like rumors he was going to be like an assist trophy in Smash 4, and people kept talking about it, and that just never became a thing. But yeah, I think Donkey Kong 64, like I love the graphics in it. I think it has a lot of really interesting ideas. Dude, oh man, this is super random, but I don't know when the hell I'm going to bring it up again. The hippo and pig you have to feed the colored bananas to, those dudes used to make me so fucking uncomfortable. Like, they really unnerved me for some reason. I don't know why. I'm going to have to replay the game and figure out why on earth they creeped me out so bad. I think there's a lot of stuff in that game that's kind of weirdly creepy in a weird way. Like, you know, it's got the whole fucked up game over screen, which, super cool that got to come back as King K. Rool's Final Smash. That was a brilliant idea. If they ever put Gruntilda in Smash Bros., her final smash should be to suck the beauty out of whoever gets hit. And then she comes out as sexy Gruntilda. The DK rap is super iconic. That got to appear in the Mario movie. the Donkey Kong crew have guns. That's fucking awesome. I love that shit. The coconut gun is so cute. Wait, aren't they adding... I think they're adding the coconut gun as an item in Super Smash Flash 2. That's hilarious. Yeah. I haven't really beaten Donkey Kong 64, like I said, so I don't have a ton to say. But, like, I like... You know, again, I like it. It's a very charming game. I love the DK Isle theme. Cool. I'll have to play that one soon. Next up is a game I actually do have a lot to say about, and that is Gex, Enter the Gecko. This game, God, I played this game so much as a kid, and I kept trying to beat it, but I didn't have an N64 memory card as a kid, so I would have to play it in one sitting if I wanted to beat it. And for some reason, Gex is one of those games where you have to 100% it in order to beat it, which I hate stuff like that. I'm not a fan of that. Don't do that if you're ever making a collect-a-thon. But, you know, so I never beat it as a kid, but recently I did beat it on the PlayStation, which is the superior version. The N64 version of this game is not very good. It kind of sucks, in my opinion, going back to it. But the N64 version has an exclusive Titanic level, which is a very cute level. Gex actually has a new costume in it that I don't think is in the PlayStation version at all. But yeah, like I used to play so much of Gex 1, it's not even funny. My whole family, I feel like, has weird nostalgia for the Rocky Mountain ending of the first cartoon level, where it plays like that, the dun 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 dun. We all, like, everyone in my family knows that song and that area and stuff. Yeah, and I don't know, a lot of people think Gex is annoying, but, like, I honestly kind of don't really think he's that annoying. Like, he's fine. He says some shit, though. I remember when I was playing through it, when I was beating Gex for the first time a couple years back, I cannot remember for the life of me what he said, but he said something, like, kind of offensive at one point. I cannot remember what it was now. But aside from that, okay, I think the Gex games are genuinely good and do not get enough credit, because, again, they are, like, legitimately fun games. And then also Gex 3, which I had never beat, but I definitely will now, especially with the collection coming out. I can't believe that's real. That's crazy to me. Gex is alive and well in 2023, fellas. Let's fucking go. But yeah, Gex 3, I really liked that game. That one has that one I also had on N64, which so I'm sure that's also the inferior version compared to the PlayStation one. But it's still, you know, really cute game. I love in the Christmas level, the holiday channel. There's pee in the snow. Classic. That's so funny. I love it. That one I got pretty far into, but again, I'm pretty sure you needed a memory card to beat that one. But I will beat it soon, and I actually have Gex 1 as well. That one on PlayStation, I believe. But that one I haven't sat down and played through. But again, with the trilogy, maybe I'll sit down and I'll make some time to play it. With the trilogy collection coming out, maybe I'll make some time to play it. Yeah, I don't know. I love Gex. I unironically think Gex is fun. I love his design. I think he's very charming. I have a Gex plush, and I had the Gex book. I read that as a kid. Good times. Next up, I have written down Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. If you know anything about me, you know I'm not the world's biggest Zelda guy. I've actually never beaten a Zelda game, but I love a lot of the characters. I love the music. Obviously, like, I like playing as a lot of the characters in Smash Bros. And stuff. There's a lot of Zelda characters that are really hot for no reason. And I've played a bit of Ocarina of Time, but I never beat it. I definitely cleared out the Deku Tree, and that's kind of where I stopped. And I played a bit of Majora's Mask. I don't even think I got that far into it, but, you know, I played it a little bit, and I was very interested in it as a kid. God, I used to watch this, like, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask abridged series back when I was trying to watch, like, every abridged series I could find. I remember thinking they were funny, but I think they were funny anymore. But yeah, and, like, I remember I really like a lot of the music in them, like the Song of Storms. I think that's from Ocarina of Time. I like that song a lot. And like the Forest song, I think that's also from Ocarina of Time. I really like Termina Village from Majora's Mask. I love that song. That song is so great. But yeah, like I said, I haven't really beaten any of them. I like their graphics and stuff, and Again, nothing but respect to them for existing, because that's how we get Zelda content in Smash. But yeah, I haven't beaten any of them. I don't know if I ever will. I probably will. So I have a friend who's a big Zelda fan, and they were flaming on me for having not played it. They were like, yeah, you should feel bad that you've never beaten a Zelda game. If I ever do beat a Zelda game, I want to beat Twilight Princess, because that's the one I have the most, like, that's the one I got the most into. I really liked Twilight Princess, but I got soft locked at one point. Or, like, not exactly soft locked, but I just straight up could not find out how to progress, and I just got stuck there. But yeah, we're not here to talk about the GameCube. We're here to talk about the N64. And those ones, like, Ocarina of Time is, like, one of the most famous video games of all time. And I do... Sometimes, like, when a game gets that famous, I am just interested in just playing it just to kind of see what all the hubbub is about. You know, that's a big reason that, that's part of the reason why I played Final Fantasy VII and stuff like that. And Chrono Trigger also, like, I played it just because it's so famous. And, yeah, and those games ended up being some of my favorite games of all time. So who knows? Maybe I'll play Ocarina of Time and I'll be like, it's so good. Oh yeah, next time I have some of the Mario sports games. I'm just going to put Mario Golf and Mario Tennis together. I didn't play these games a whole lot. I, once again, kind of just prefer the GameCube ones. But this is where they got their start, I believe, and Mario Tennis is where straight up where Waluigi was born. They're both very cute, Mario Golf and Mario Tennis on the N64. I love their graphics. They're super adorable looking. And, they're just simple and fun. Mario Golf has Metal... I think... Is that, like, the first game to have Metal Mario as his own character? I would have to look. Maybe Smash Bros. Has it beat on that. I mean, let's take a look-see here. I can just cut out the search time. Yeah, actually, Smash Bros. Actually has Mario Golf beat a little bit on having Metal Mario as his own character. I wonder if that's why they chose to include Metal Mario in Mario Golf. I like Metal Mario, and especially back then, it's very interesting to have, like... Because, like, at that point, he straight up was just a power-up, So, like, it's really interesting to actually see Metal Mario as his own guy. I think between the two, Mario Tennis is better, but that's just because tennis is, like, the better sport in real life, too. Golf absolutely sucks unless it's mini golf. And even then, I'm not that crazy about golf. Yeah, Mario Golf, pretty good. Mario Tennis, pretty good. Again, I prefer the GameCube versions, but we're not here to talk about the GameCube versions. God damn it. Stop bringing them up. Then Mario Kart 64, I also prefer the GameCube version. God damn it! But yeah, then there's Mario Kart 64. This is where the Mario spin-offs, really start to catch my interest. I love Mario Kart 64. Nowadays, I find it pretty difficult to go back to. I'm not crazy about how it controls, but God, did I play the hell out of this game as a kid. I played so much Mario Kart 64. I remember me and my brother, like, we worked together to unlock everything in it. So we actually have the new title screen. I remember doing, like, the 150cc special cup and stuff and finally beating that. That was so cool. And also, like, it's a charming looking little game. I like the little pre-rendered sprites for the characters, and the tracks are very iconic. It makes me feel... It's a very, like, summery feeling game to me for some reason. It's a game that just makes me feel good whenever I look at it. Some of my favorite tracks. My favorite track is Choco Mountain. That's actually one of my favorite tracks ever. I love Choco Mountain, but, like, there's DK Jungle Parkway. That one's super good. I like Banshee Boardwalk a lot. I like Yoshi's Valley is pretty good. I feel like people like that one a little more than me, but I do like that one. Wario Stadium Coliseum's from the GameCube one. Stop bringing up the GameCube. Wario Stadium's really good. That's, I think, like, the only one that's never come back. I'd love to see that one come back. Moo Moo Farm, that's a classic. Honestly, I could do an entire episode just about Mario Kart and what I like about Mario Kart, so we'll probably move on. But I love Mario Kart. Back in the day, I used to play as Yoshi, but I think nowadays I would probably just play as Mario or Bowser and Wario. Maybe I'd play as Peach. I don't actually really know who I play as in Mario Kart. Mario Kart 64. Yeah, off the top of my head, like, if I were to play it right now, I would probably play as Bowser or Mario. Yeah. Next up, I have Mischief Makers and Snowboard Kids. So these two, I don't know why I put these on here other than to make myself feel sad. I own both of these games, and neither of them work. Mischief Makers, I don't remember where we got that one from, but Snowboard Kids, a friend of mine gave to me. I gotta check up on that guy. We haven't spoken in a while. But a friend of mine gave it to me, and neither of them work, and I want to play them so bad. But, I'm not telling you to do this. But if I were telling you to do this, I would say that I actually now realize N64 emulation is pretty good at the moment. I'll talk a little bit more about some things I've been doing with that later on. But sometime soon I would like to actually like emulate and play Mischief Makers and Snowboard. I want to play Mischief Makers so bad. The main character is in Smash 64 Remix, and she looks like so much fun, but I do not understand what her moveset is. But, yeah, you know, I'll play it sometime. Oh god, next up is Paper Mario. I almost feel like I should save this for later. But we're going alphabetically for now, so... Next up is Paper Mario. This is the best N64 game ever made, no questions asked. Paper Mario is one of the only RPGs on the console, and it is so good. This game is so charming. It's so adorable. This is like, it's almost like a perfect game. Obviously, again, I'm so sorry I keep doing this. I prefer Thousand Year Door. I prefer the GameCube one. But that's because it's a lot more ambitious and has a lot of crazy stuff. And because it's a lot more ambitious and has a lot of crazy stuff, there's a lot more flaws in Thousand Year Door, whereas Paper Mario isn't necessarily as ambitious. I'm sure it was ambitious for the time, but it's not as ambitious. And because of that, it doesn't, you know, have any problems with it. There's literally nothing wrong with Paper Mario. Paper Mario is the perfect video game. I have no flaws. I have no critiques about Paper Mario 64. I really do think it's the perfect game. It's super cute. Again, like, I love the art style. I love, like, the writing in it is super funny. I love all the different characters. My favorite teammates are Cooper, Parakarry, I absolutely love. But Bombette, Lady Bo, those are super popular ones, but I love them too. I like Sushi. I like Lackluster. I like Lackluster a little less than the others just because I always forget he's there, if I'm being honest. Watt, I love a lot. Goombario, I love a lot. The whole party is really good. I think the plot is super cute. I love the Star Spirits. It's a great expansion to the Mario world. And again, it plays so good. I love, like, it introduces the badge system. I think its gameplay is really unique. It's some of the best, like, some of my favorite RPG combat and stuff. Again, while I do think all this stuff is greatly improved in Thousand Year Door, Paper Mario still does it amazingly. Paper Mario 64 is still just as good. A lot of people prefer it, and I completely understand why. It literally is perfect. It's such a charming game. Again, I could and I will eventually do a full episode about Paper Mario. I would love to do one full episode about each Mario RPG. So I won't talk your whole ear off about it, but, like, again, everything about it is good. It controls good. The story is good. The music is good. The graphics are amazing. It's so cute. It's so charming. It's such a great RPG. If you haven't played Paper Mario, like the original one yet, you're missing out, man. You gotta play that shit. Moving on. We have Perfect Dark and GoldenEye. So both of these are games I did play quite a bit, but I've never beaten. I've only ever played the multiplayer of, but I really like the multiplayer of this. Me and my siblings and my cousins would play GoldenEye a whole lot growing up, like a bunch. And, you know, like, first-person shooters tended to be, like, just a good game we could get everyone to play, so we would play a lot of, you know, Halo and Nightfire and stuff, and I definitely prefer Nightfire over GoldenEye, but God, I'm sorry, I feel so bad that I keep saying this, but, I mean, you understand now why I forgot about the N64. It's because every N64 game has a counterpart on GameCube that I like more. But yeah, I have a lot of nostalgia for GoldenEye. I've only really played a couple levels in it. Like, we mostly would just play in Facility. But I really like GoldenEye, and I really like Perfect Dark too, although I played that one a lot less. I don't remember a lot of the levels in it. But, you know, they've both got a ton of fun weapons. I think they're both really fun games. They're interesting first-person shooters, you know, for being some, like, the first to do it with, like, that arena deathmatch stuff. I think they're really good. I definitely understand why people still like them so much, because, like, they are a ton of fun, and I had a lot of fun playing them. Now, before we continue, I actually just realized I skipped a game. I skipped over Killer Instinct Gold. This one, Killer Instinct, is a series very near and dear to my heart. I played the first one a whole lot growing up, and Killer Instinct 2013 is one of my favorite fighting games of all time, one of my favorite video games ever. But Killer Instinct Gold just kind of passed by me. I didn't have it growing up, and I didn't get it until after 2013 had been out for a while. So I don't have a lot of nostalgia for it, but, you know, it's a pretty neat game. It's got, like, really nice graphics and stuff, and I'm sure, like, if I had actually played it growing up, I would like it a whole lot. I think, though, in my opinion, like, a lot of its newcomers aren't as interesting as the characters from Killer Instinct 1. Like, Tusk, Maya, and Kimwoo are, like, cool, but they didn't become really cool because, like, that's just 3 humans. You know, they didn't have anything, like, super bizarre new added to that one. So those guys didn't really become cool until 2013. Killer Instinct came out, in my opinion. And, like, same with Gargos' design is so stupid in Gold. I do not like it, but his redesign in 2013 is amazing. And you could see that for pretty much everything in them. I think 2013 fixes everyone's designs so well, but you know, for the most part, yeah, I'm not like insane about Killer Instinct Gold or anything, but I still like it. I still respect it a lot. It's neat. I could honestly do a whole episode about Killer Instinct probably. Moving on from that, next up we're in the P's now, so we've got some Pokemon to talk about. First up here is Pokemon Snap. Ooh, this is one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time. This is straight up one of the best Pokemon spin-offs ever. And yeah, again, I prefer the newer Pokemon Snap. I think Pokemon Snap on the Switch is like the perfect game. But Pokemon Snap on the N64 is where it got its start, and considering how old it is, like, I replayed it recently on Nintendo Switch Online. This is one of the games that made me realize, like, what the hell was wrong with me. I love the N64. Like, I replayed it recently, and, like, it's amazing to me, like, it's still so good. Like, again, new Pokemon Snap has a lot more to do and stuff, but, like, this old one is still good to come back and play. Like, you know, it's wholly unique. Like, there's nothing recycled in it. Like, obviously, a lot of the Pokemon appear in both, but, like, you still should come back and play the original because, like, it's all new levels and stuff like that, and it's such a cute and good game. This game I absolutely love. I've beaten it multiple times, and I haven't necessarily 100%ed it because I haven't done any of the challenge scores, but I've completed the photo album, like gotten all 63 Pokemon multiple times in my life. It's just such a fun game. I love taking pictures in games, as I'm sure you all know, like taking my own screenshots and stuff. So games solely devoted to that are super fun, like Pokemon Snap and Paparazzi. But Pokemon Snap is just so much fun because it's also kind of like a shmup in a way, since it's on rails. I really love Pokemon Snap. I love all the levels in it. The music is really good. I think it's really interesting how, like, it's very, like, quirky game because, again, it's early into Pokemon's life when they didn't have a lot of, like, the canon figured out and they didn't have a lot of, like, the guidelines in place. So you see a lot of weird stuff, and I appreciate that even kind of new Pokemon Snap kind of keeps that because you see, like, Pokemon eating each other. Not exactly, but you see, like, a Pidgeot stealing, like, a Magikarp, and it's implied it's gonna go eat that Magikarp. But, like, there's just so much in it. Like, I like the Pokemon signs are interesting. I like that you have to, like, kind of try and figure out how to, like, unlock the new levels. I think New Pokemon Snap isn't necessarily bad at this, but there were some levels where I straight up could not figure out how to progress. But I feel like Pokemon Snaps are a little straightforward, like the first one. And that might just be just because I know it better. But I don't know, it's just such a cute game to me. I think it's like an amazing reuse of those Pokemon models that they made for Stadium and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I could play this game probably forever and never get tired of it. I've been watching videos recently from, I can't remember his name. Goose or whatever. He did like some videos on like Pokemon Snap speedrunning and high scores and stuff, and some very interesting stuff. I even tried my own hand at the perfect Charizard, and it's very interesting. It's just interesting to see and stuff. On the Nintendo Switch Online, you can save before these type of pictures and repeatedly retry them. Yeah, and like I loved like trying to get like better pictures and stuff, and I love just like these low poly beautiful environments are so nice. I love Pokemon Snap. I love Pokemon. I love just being in the Pokemon world, so it's like a great way to do that. Pokemon rules, and Pokemon Snap is seriously one of my favorite Pokemon spin-offs. Actually, it might be my favorite Pokemon spin-off, just straight up. But next is Pokemon Stadium. 1 and 2, I guess, now that I've actually played 2. Yeah, Pokemon Stadium, this is a game I also played a lot as a kid, but I gotta be honest, coming back to it, like, it's kind of boring. It's not, like, a super fun game, in my opinion. The mini-games are great. I will give it up. Like, in both of them, the mini-games are great. But in my opinion, what makes Pokemon Stadium interesting isn't necessarily the game in of itself. It is, although I'm sure if you're into competitive Pokemon, it's actually a really fascinating game. Like, I watched also some videos about, like, rental Pokemon only meta, and, like, that stuff's very interesting to me. But really what makes Pokemon Stadium interesting, again, is not the game itself. It is the technology behind it. It's super fucking cool, and recently, as I'm sure you know, I've been trying to play through all the main series Pokemon games, and with my N64 emulator, you can actually emulate the Game Boy Transfer Pack. So all you need is just to upload the ROM to the emulator and upload a battery file of your playthrough to the emulator, and you can just full on bring your team into a Pokemon Stadium ROM. And like, I was playing around with that. I took some pictures of my team in 3D, and it's super cool. Like, the technology is just amazing. And I know, like, when you beat like Gym Leader Castle, they give you a Pokemon that you can send to your game. Unfortunately, I didn't know that at the time, so I beat it on N64 with rental Pokemon only, and it was so fucking boring, dude. But and now I kind of don't have the oomph to go back and do it with my actual team. But it's very interesting. I love doing stuff like that. Pokemon Coliseum, I think I would like. I haven't played Coliseum and Gale of Darkness yet. I think I would like those more, just because like they're actual like plot-based RPGs. But again, just like it really is mostly just the technology aspect of Pokemon Stadium is really what makes those games so cool, in my opinion. And it's why it's such a huge shame that they're just on N64 Online with no way of transferring Pokemon to them. Because, like, really, the rental Pokemon are cool and they can be fun. But again, like, the game is kind of boring with them, in my opinion. But again, and I'm sure maybe one day I'll sit down and I'll play through all of them with my team, so I can actually see like the transferring back of your gift Pokemon. But regardless, yeah, you know, they're cute games. I have a lot of nostalgia for them. The narrator in them is absolutely legendary. They're cool games. Yeah, the mini games are definitely the best part, though. Like, they're actually really fun, those mini games. Off the top of my head, I really like the Lickitung mini game and like the Metapod mini game. Pokemon Stadium 2, I only played that one recently, so I can't remember a lot of the mini games. There was a one with a Furret that was actually pretty funny. It reminded me of Hungry Hungry Hippos, but like not exactly. It reminded me of like that type of tabletop little like game you would be able to get. I honestly am blanking on all the mini games right now. Pokemon Stadium 2 also has Pokemon quizzes. I thought those were very fun. Yeah, again, like, I don't hate Pokemon Stadium or anything. I just don't think it's like the most amazing and engaging game of all time. Next up here, I have Rugrats in Paris written down. This is a game I played a lot for some reason. I never beat it, though. Maybe I should honestly sit down and try and beat it eventually. This game is like, I don't know, it's not that great, but I remember like kind of really liking like the graphics and the like the music in it and stuff. It's like a minigame compilation, I think. But also you can run around and play as like the different Rugrats in the little hub area. There's like mini games to do. It's the only Rugrats game I've ever played. I'm sure there are other Rugrats games that like it might be similar to other Rugrats games. Yeah, for some reason I was really enamored with this game as a kid. I don't think it's a good game. I doubt I would like it. If that gets put on Nintendo Switch Online, I will sit down and I will play through the entirety of the game instantly. You gotta be kidding me. That's probably not gonna happen. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to bring that one up just because it's funny. God, yeah, I had like a black cartridge, I believe, so like it looks fancy and special, but like, who cares about Rugrats in Paris on N64, really? I remember liking that movie. More importantly, next up is Star Fox 64. This is another one of my favorite video games of all time. Like, straight up, this is one of the best games I've ever played in my life. I love Star Fox 64. I love the whole Star Fox franchise. This whole franchise is severely underrated. And gets a lot of crap, but I will say this is one where, no, actually, I do prefer the N64 one. Star Fox 64 is just an amazing game. It's a fantastic on-rail shooter. It's a fantastic shmup. I absolutely love it. I've played this game maybe more times than any other video game in existence. Like, I've replayed this game so many times. There was a month there where I would literally, like, during, like, summer vacation, I would wake up. I had the N64 hooked up to the TV in my room. And I would wake up, not even get out of bed, just turn on the N64, grab the controller, and do a full playthrough of Star Fox 64 every single day. Was I speedrunning it? No. I just liked it that much that I just played it. And this wasn't when I was like a kid. I was like in high school when I did this, because I just love Star Fox 64. And I could play it super quickly, because you can get through it. Like, if you get good, you can get through it really quick. I'm not as good at it now, but like, mashing, so you just fire off like insane amounts of bullets at enemies. You can make them explode super quickly. Oh, it's such a good game. I love the voice acting. I love the graphics. The music is so good. That credits theme gets me every time. With when the Great Fox is coming up, it's like dun 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 dun. That shit gets me every time. It's so good. Yeah, I love all the voices and stuff. I know that game pretty much by heart. Like, I could probably play through it in my brain. And it gets pretty tough. Like, even though I played it a whole bunch, like, that second Star Wolf fight is kind of fucking brutal. And nowadays, especially since I'm not as good at it, like Sector 6 kicks my ass whenever I play through it. And the final boss, I'm a little better at that, but like, God, that final boss, like after you destroy the eyes, can be a real fucking pain in the ass to hit. Because he's right on top of you like the entire fight and you have to get behind him. But it's such a good game. It really is like absolutely an amazing game. The route I take I take this route every single time I play it. Corneria, Asteroid Field. I can't remember the name of the snow planet where you fight Starwolf. I do that one next. Then from there, I believe I do Macbeth. Then I do Solar. Then I believe from Solar I go to Sector 6. Then to Venom with the second Starwolf fight. Then you fight Andros and then you beat the game. Again, I can and I will do an entire Star Fox episode. I really could talk about the series that much. I absolutely adore it. But actually, yeah, interestingly enough, I actually have not beaten every level in Star Fox 64. I should try to correct that, especially with Nintendo Switch Online. I believe I've beaten every level at least once in my life. I had a really hard time with Aquas as a kid, but I did finally beat that one in Star Fox 64 3D. But the one level I have never beaten in my life is the desert level. When you go to Sector X, I think, or maybe that's Sector Y, maybe it's Sector Z. When you go to the sector with the giant robot at the end, that's like, where is the creator? Slippy will get slapped out of the sky, and he'll crash land on the other side of the galaxy system. I'm sorry, he'll crash land on the other side of the Lilat system onto a desert planet. And I've never beaten that level before. Probably now I could beat it, like with my fucking eyes closed, because I play through Macbeth, and I always hit all 8 switches every time, because I'm a true gamer. But yeah, I love it. Those ones that I play every time, those are my favorite levels. Like, Macbeth is probably my favorite level in the game. I don't want to talk too much about my ideas for Smash Bros. Content, just because I could do a whole episode, and I will do a whole episode about just Smash Bros. Stuff. But I think Macbeth would be a great stage, like, where you're on the train, and, like, the train is, like, blowing up. And I was going to say, like, maybe, like, partway through, if they could find a way to do it where, like, the actual boss shows up, and maybe they could do it where you can actually hit the 8 switches throughout the level. That would be so fucking cool. That sounds like a level that would have been in Smash 3DS though, so we probably missed our opportunity with that. But yeah, I love the whole Star Fox series. Honest to God, like I really do. I think they're all good. The only ones I disliked is I couldn't beat Star Fox Adventures. I don't want to play Zelda. I want to play Star Fox, and Zelda fans don't want to play Star Fox. So what was the point of this? It gave us Crystal, though, who genuinely I love and I am so thirsty for. Fellas, Crystal Nation, rise up. I love Crystal so much. And I liked Star Fox Zero at the time, but I think if I go back and replay it, I'm not going to like it anymore. Oh my God, the ending of Star Fox 64 is so good. That shit gets me every time. You've become so strong, Fox. That shit gets me every fucking time. Like, it never gets old. That whole ending sequence is masterfully done, and I straight up despise how they did it in Star Fox Zero. It's not even funny. It's so good in Star Fox 64. Oh, but anyway, if you play Star Fox 64 and you think the rest of the series is bad, I implore you to try Star Fox Assault again. Star Fox Assault is legit, like, good as fuck. That game rules. Next up is Super Mario 64. This game also fucking rules. It's not my favorite of the 3D Marios. It might be on the lower end for my 3D Mario ranking, but like literally that is just because every other 3D Mario is so amazing. 64 absolutely rules, dude. I used to play the fuck out of this game as a kid. I played it so much. I still remember like the first time I beat it and how happy I was when I first finished it. Now I've played it a bunch. I finally 100% completed it. 3D All-Stars, I managed to 100% it on that specifically. It's a really good game. My only real complaint about it nowadays, coming back to it after all this time, is I think some of the levels are, like, kind of suck in retrospect. Like, I don't know. I like most of the levels, though. My favorite levels are, I love Bob on Battlefield. I could do Bob on Battlefield with my eyes closed. I love Bob on Battlefield. Lethal Lava Land I like a lot. I like Tiny Huge Island. That one's okay. I like Tall Tall Mountain. I like that one. That one has a monkey on it. That's great. Recently, I played through it again for like the 20th time. Some of my friends and I were playing the multiplayer mod of it, and it comes with a lot of crap. Like, you can remap the controls to give Mario some moves from his later games. You play it in widescreen with like a modern day controller, so you don't have to map the camera is mapped to the right stick, not to the C buttons, and it feels amazing. Like, it's straight up the best way to play the game, in my opinion. The only way it could be better is if it was Super Mario 64 DS, but I understand, like, that's not as easy to mod, probably. Again, I can and I will do an episode solely about Mario 64 just because I have so much to talk about it, but this game is great. It still holds up. That ending theme still gets me. The graphics are super adorable. It's a super creative game. It's really fun. And again, like, considering it's like one of the first 3D collectathons, like, it still holds up in my opinion. It's really good. Again, yeah, obviously I prefer Galaxy and Sunshine and stuff like that. But like, yeah, like, in my opinion, like, even though like I prefer the later ones, if you go to the later ones and then come back and play 64 doesn't feel like super stilted or anything. Like, it doesn't feel like, oh my god, like Mario is so slow in 64. Like, no, 64 still feels just as good to play in my opinion. It has some stuff that I guess you could consider growing pains, but like, for the most part, like, it's still good. It's still really good. Yeah, next up, I have Kirby 64. Oh, yeah, now this is stuff that I think is out of alphabetical order. So yeah, next up is Kirby. I have Kirby 64 written down. This one I like, but I remember just not being amazed with it when I played it. I remember it being like kind of weirdly frustrating. I played it on the Wii Kirby collection. Maybe it's just because I was so young when I played through it. But like, it's also got great graphics. It's got really fantastic music. Miracle Matter is straight up one of my favorite Kirby songs ever. That song is so good. Zero Squared is also really good. That one's really famous, but it's no Miracle Matter. Miracle Matter fucking slaps for no reason. And also, it actually has the item, the power-up combination ability, which that is so good. And like, I don't know if it ever came back. It might be in Squeak Squad, but I actually have not played Squeak Squad. Let me know if it was in Squeak Squad. I should play that. I should just sit down and play through the entire Kirby franchise sometime soon. But yeah, Kirby 64 is crazy fun. Even though like I was not blown away by it, even though like I thought it was very frustrating, like I still really liked it. Yeah, the power-up combination thing, I can't remember most of them. Like, I love Refrigerator Kirby. There's a Volcano Kirby. That was cute. I don't remember it, but there's, like, it might be just 2 Spike Kirbys mixed together. Like, he grows, like, a bunch of things that are spiky, like a cactus and, like, a protractor and shit like that. That shit's so funny. There's the dual-sided lightsaber Kirby. That shit's crazy. Power-up combination should come back. I think that, especially considering how many new power-ups have been made, there's a lot more potential with that than, like, Car Kirby. No offense to Car Kirby. But yeah, I like Kirby 64. Yeah, kind of one of my biggest gripes about it is it's another one you have to, like, 100% to beat it. That's a reason I didn't beat Kirby's Dream Land 3, even though that's, like, one of my favorite Kirby games. I don't want to 100% it. I just want to beat it. But one of these days I'll sit down and I'll try to 100% both of them. Especially, they're both on Nintendo Switch Online, I'm pretty sure, so you can just save scum to just try as many times as you need in a level. Yeah, Kirby 64, though, pretty good. I actually... Oh, God, I still haven't really played the mini... Oh, shit, I still haven't played the mini-games. I just remembered, I still haven't played the mini-games, and there's... If you know, but there's actually kind of an important reason I specifically have to try, like, Checkerboard Chase. Yeah, I've been told by specific people that I really need to play Checkerboard Chase as soon as possible. Maybe I'll play that today. Anyway, moving on is next up is F-Zero X. This is another one where I definitely prefer the GameCube one. F-Zero GX is kind of one of my favorites, but I played it for the first time recently through Nintendo Switch Online, and I was really surprised with it. Like, it feels good. Like, it really doesn't feel too far off from GX. I don't know. I was really impressed with my time playing F-Zero X. It has a shit ton of characters. It's got a lot of tracks in it. I was surprised that the N64 could make the game feel that fast. I liked it. I like F-Zero X. I played as Pico throughout the whole thing because he's one of my favorite characters. Look, it's F-Zero. It's good. I really like it. It's a ton of fun. Oh god, yeah, one of my only problems is, like, there's a lot of parts where it feels like you can jump off the track, but there's a lot of kill planes, like, off the track, and I was really disappointed in that, because I feel like GX, you can really just do whatever the fuck you want in that game. You want to fly across the screen and do like 50 laps, like just midair. Yeah, absolutely. Who gives a shit? Go ahead. But in F-Zero X, like they'll kill you. They'll kill you anywhere on the fucking map. Yeah, and like I remember like not being super blown away by like the graphics, but it still looks pretty good, especially considering like how many cars are there at once, and it's got really good music. If you've at this point you've probably heard like the F-Zero X remix of Rainbow Road. That song is so fucking good. F-Zero, just it's good. You know, not much more I can say about it. I will do a full episode on F-Zero though. Next up, I have Pokemon Puzzle League and Dr. Mario 64, which both of those I played for the first time recently. Pokemon Puzzle League, it's just panel to pawn, but it feels like that game just feels like it's not real. It's such like a bizarre game in my opinion. Like, so the whole game kind of feels like it was made on like a PowerPoint slideshow. I hate to be mean, but like I'm not wrong. And yeah, it is just panel to pawn, but like it's also like super based on the anime, which I can't think of many Pokemon games that go that route. But like to the point where they have music from from the To Be a Master album playing. Like not just the Pokemon theme, but like they have like Viridian City, Together Forever and shit in the soundtrack. I was really blown away. They have Catch Me from the Pokemon the first movie in the soundtrack, because like I loved that song. I used to listen to that song a lot before class in high school. I was really just really shocked by that, but I mean it's cool. There wasn't really any other music from the movie though. Like they didn't have Brother My Brother, which is a shame. If the final boss had Brother My Brother playing during it, I would have fucking flipped out. But again, it's just a really weird game. It's got like some actual like pre-rendered footage in it. Like it has like originally animated scenes like with the original voice actors. Only Pikachu, Ash, and Professor Oak though. But yeah, you know, just again, it was just so disappointing because like you get to actually pick your Pokemon before each fight, and you'd think there would be like a thing with weakness and resistance because the actual panel to pawn blocks this time have Pokemon types on them. But no, as far as I could tell, I didn't do any research, but as far as I can tell from my time playing it, no, there's literally like no reason to pick a different Pokemon. Like it makes no difference. What the fuck was the point of that game? That was a weird ass game. Anyway, then I played Dr. Mario 64. That game was really brutal for some reason. Like I have not gotten my ass handed to me playing Dr. Mario in such a long time. I played on easy mode and I played through Dr. Mario and Wario's story, but you can't get the true ending in that. And like that game kicked my ass on easy mode. I don't think I can play on a higher difficulty. It's kind of cute. It's again kind of weird because like it's kind of like a Wario Land spinoff. Obviously, Dr. Mario doesn't have any characters to work with, but I'm just like, it's just interesting to me that like rather than making new characters, they were like, oh fuck it, just put him in the Wario Land universe. Rudy the Clown is the final boss. Okay. Sure, why not? Yeah, just a weird little game. I mean, it's Dr. Mario, so it's good. It's got nothing on Miracle Cure on 3DS. Where's the new Dr. Mario? Come on, you canceled Dr. Mario World. Now you got to make a story, like a heavily story-driven Dr. Mario on Switch, Nintendo. Come on. Nowadays, if you did that and you were to combine it with Wario, you could put the WarioWare characters into Dr. Mario. That'd be cool, right? Anyone else want to play as Orbulon in Dr. Mario? Right? Come on, guys. You guys hate talking about Wario Land anyway. You might as well. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to skip over the next two games and talk about those ones last, because I have 3 written here that I have played, but I'm not super nostalgic for, and I'm sure some people are going to be interested in what I have to say. So next up is Glover. I've actually never played Glover in my life. I've never played that game, but for some reason as a kid, I was obsessed with the character, so I still felt the need to shout out Glover. He's a glove, and you play as him, and he rolls around the balls. I might sit down and play that game soon. That's a rare instance where apparently the PlayStation version is insanely inferior to the N64 version. That's like the complete flip of Gex. Yeah, again, like, I remember I actually drew fan art of Glover and sent it into Nintendo Power. Yeah, I didn't really play Gex. I didn't really play Glover ever. I don't even think I own a copy of it. But I just wanted to give it a shout out just because I just thought he was cute as a kid. Next up is Diddy Kong Racing. This one I have actually played, and I'm sure a lot of people are like, oh, Yeah, kart racing is so good. I did not like it when I first played it, but I have not played it since I first tried it, and I went in expecting to like it more than Mario Kart 64, and I just did not. But yeah, I've never beaten it, so maybe I should go back and give it another shot. Yeah, I have written here Mario Party. I'm not like the world's biggest Mario Party guy. I've played a couple games in the series, and I enjoy it enough. Like, yeah, I like a lot of the mini games, but I'm not like super crazy about like the actual like board stuff. But I know this series has like a lot of fans. And recently, me and my little sister did a board of Mario Party 1, and it took fucking forever, but it was really cute. It was in the it was in the Western themed map. Like, I really like the quick draw thing at the end, and like you could pay to have people all have to come to the tavern, and for some reason the CPUs kept doing it. So me and my sister would just, every time we showed up, we would also pay to have everyone come back to the tavern, and so we all just spent like a bunch of turns at that tavern. It was very funny. Yeah, it's good. Someone brought up that it's kind of like Final Fantasy VII because it has like pre-rendered backgrounds with character models on them, and I completely agree. It is like Final Fantasy VII. It's very interesting. I can't really remember many of the mini games. I had the jump rope mini game. I think that one was fun. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I've played more of the GameCube Mario parties. That one I used to play those at Kmart. The Kmart demos. Good God, I'm old. I feel so fucking ancient. But, yeah, you know, again, like, I'm not crazy about Mario Party, but it is Mario Party. 100%. So, yeah, the last two N64 games I want to talk about here today are Yoshi's Story, first of all. This game is the one I played on Nintendo Switch Online. That one is straight up the one that made me realize, like, it made me realize just, like, oh my god, I used to play on the N64 so much as a kid. I replayed it here on Nintendo Switch Online, and I still love it. People talk about how this game's like too easy or boring as hell, and I just could not disagree more. Yoshi's Story rules. It's really, really easy. But some of those levels can get pretty brutal when you start playing some of the later ones, like the one that's like the Piranha Plant jungle, where you're tiny as hell and you can't land on the ground anywhere because there's vines. That level's hard as hell. The one with the fish trying to eat you, that level's hard as hell. Some of the other castle levels that aren't like the first two are really fucking brutal. The game can get tough sometimes. Maybe now I wouldn't have a hard time with them, but, you know, I don't know. Like, I used to play this game so much as a kid. Like, my brother had all the levels unlocked, so I would just go and I would just play every single level of it. And, like, I think every level's fun. It's honestly my favorite Yoshi game. I think it's the most fun to play. It actually has the black and white Yoshi in it, which, like, fuck yeah, those are my favorite color Yoshi, and I'll never forgive them for removing Black Yoshi from Smash Ultimate and replace him with the ugly Crafted World Yoshi. I don't care how much I like Crafted World. I don't want to play as that Yoshi. I want to play as Black Yoshi. Anyway, yeah, I think it's like some of my favorite gameplay from the Yoshi series. Like, I appreciate that you don't have to deal with Baby Mario and stuff like that. The graphics are so cute in it. It's such an adorable game. The music is amazing. Love is in the Air is straight up one of the best songs ever from the Mario series. It's such a good song. It's so absolutely adorable. I'm trying to think, like, Big Boys Don't Cry is also a good one. I don't know. It's just such a cute game. Again, yeah, like, great music. The bosses are really cute in it. They're pretty easy too, but I like them a lot. I don't know, like, I just really love Yoshi's Story, and again, like, playing it just reminded me, like, how much I used to play these games as a kid. Like, I was obsessed with Yoshi's Story, and I still am. I still think it's an amazing game that does not get nearly enough credit. Like, every Yoshi game afterwards, like, takes inspiration from it, but, like, everyone always talks about how it's so boring and so easy, and again, I'm sure if you paid $60 for it, you may have been disappointed in it, but for me, who didn't pay $60 for it, I think it's the perfect game. I think Yoshi's Story 64 is still good as hell. If you haven't played it yet, I cannot recommend it enough. Now, lastly, the last N64 game I want to talk about is, I mean, you probably already know what it is. It's like the only one I haven't brought up yet. Is Super Smash Bros. 64. So, this one, I think, is actually a big reason why I didn't remember how much N64 stuff I played. Just because GameCube, Wii, 3DS, Wii U, I played those Smash Broses. I played the Smash Bros. Games on those consoles a lot. They're a big reason I kept coming back to those consoles, because I loved those Smash Bros. Games. But Smash 64, I actually didn't get a copy of it for myself
until after Brawl. Like, Smash 3DS and Wii U may have... No. Like, Smash 3DS and Wii U weren't out yet, but definitely Brawl was out, and that's when I finally got a copy of it. Now, that's not to say... I did play Smash 64 a shit ton at my neighbor's house. My neighbor had a copy of it, and I used to go over there and play their copy of Smash 64 all the time. I used to play Board the Platforms and shit. I played the fuck out of Smash 64 at their house. And nowadays, I have played it a lot. I do like Smash 64. Again, it's not my favorite. It's very weird to come back to. Like, it doesn't have side specials, and that weirds me out every time I play it. I like it though. It's very cute. Like, it has like a very unique aesthetic that's like very cute and chibi, but you can still like tell where the future games got like their looks from and stuff. I like its weird kind of like not cutout style menu, but like its menu is just like very interesting looking with a bunch of different like fonts in the background and stuff. I love the congratulations screens, how they're actually like hand drawn. It just occurred to me that would have been a great way to have brought back the newcomer artwork that Smash 4 did for Ultimate, is have like the congratulations screen at the end have been like a full drawing from that artist. Fuck, they should have done that. That would have been so good. But yeah, it's a really cute game. Like I really, really enjoy Smash 64. Like I was saying, this one I emulated recently, and I finally tried out Smash 64 Remix. It is so good. I love playing as Bowser in it particularly, but there's a lot of cool characters like Goemon. I haven't played any of the Goemon games, but I really liked Goemon's moveset in it. And Mad Piano from Mario 64, the fucked up evil piano, you can play as it in that mod. It's a ton of fun. I really, really like it. It's got so many stages and shit. It's got so much music and crap. Sonic's in it. I would really want them to add like a Charizard in it, because Charizard was in a Kenya build. That's a Melee mod. They had modded Charizard into Melee, and that might be like my favorite Charizard moveset in that mod. It's really good. But I'd love to still get Charizard, or maybe even like if they could add Hero to it, I would lose my fucking mind, dude. Or Geno. That's right, because he fits in with the time that the game would come out. Yeah, Smash 64, again, even though I didn't own it for a while, like I still really like it. I played it a lot. I quite enjoy it. My favorite character in it is Mario. My favorite stage is actually Mushroom Kingdom. Before it was Saffron City, and Saffron City is still probably my number 2. But I just really like Mushroom Kingdom. I like Green Greens a lot too. Green Greens might have like the best layout, but that's probably just because it's just Battlefield. I'm not like insane about Saffron City's layout. It's one of the most unique Pokemon stages, because I don't think there's any other Pokemon stages that take place in a city, right? And then Project M redesigned that stage to look so gorgeous for no reason. They did not have to do all that. Again, Smash 64, I will do a full episode about. You can believe there will be a lot of Smash Bros. Episodes, so I won't waste your entire day talking about Smash 64, but it's a really good game. It's a great start for the series, and, it's responsible for, creating Smash Bros., which is one of my favorite franchises of all time. Yeah, and there are, of course, a lot of other N64 games out there that I just kind of haven't really played, like any of the Disney ones, and nothing else is really coming to mind. I haven't played Sin and Punishment yet, but that's on Nintendo Switch Online. Maybe I'll play through that. I've never played Win Back. Never played any of the other GoldenEye games on N64. I've never played Jet Force Gemini, or the Spider-Man game on N64. There's a lot of games on N64, and absolutely none of them are in my brain right now. Never played Earthworm Jim 3D. My brother actually has a copy of that. I like the Earthworm Jim cartoon, but I'm not really into the games. And also, I think the creator should die. Again, there's just so much crap on N64. And actually, something I didn't even realize until recently is a lot of my nostalgia for the N64 actually comes from Nintendo Power. My brother had a lot of Nintendo Power magazines, and I used to read the fuck out of them growing up. I was obsessed with them. I would constantly flip through those old Nintendo Power magazines, and they were from the N64 era, all of them, and I was so obsessed. Even though I didn't have like a Nintendo Power subscription, I just loved reading those old Nintendo Power magazines and just looking at all those games. Like, yeah, I remember like we had one that talked about like Army Men, and we had some that talked about Glover, obviously. Like, we had Glover ones and stuff, and I'm pretty sure we had the Nintendo Power magazine that talked about 40 Winks and stuff. And I don't know, I just really loved them. And yeah, I don't know. I just can't believe that I forgot so much about the N64 and how much I loved it. But now with me getting back, hypothetically speaking, into the emulation stuff, yeah, hopefully I won't be forgetting about the N64 anytime soon, and I'll be able to play a lot more N64 games. They just, like yesterday, as of recording this, put Excite Bike 64 on Nintendo Switch Online. That's another game I've never played, and I remember everyone was like, oh yeah, it's going to be Mario Party 3. Nope. It's fucking Excite Bike. Okay. I'm sure some people are really into Excite Bike 64. Maybe I'll play it and I'll end up really, really liking it, but it's no Excitebots Trick Racing. I'll just come out and say that. But yeah, that was a lot of talking about N64 games. That's pretty much it as far as the main topic goes. I can't really think of what else what other games there are. I feel like afterwards I'm gonna like remember an N64 game that I love and I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I gotta go back and talk about it more. I won't talk about it much here, but also I did recently play Super Mario 64 Star Road, which is a ROM hack for Super Mario 64. I loved it. It was super fun. I played it in that because it came with the multiplayer mod, so I got to play it with the same controls and stuff and my custom Mario color scheme that you can make in it. And that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. A little too long, in my opinion. Like, you need 80 stars instead of 70, and I'm like, oh, so much to collect. But it was really cute. It was really cool. I definitely want to play more mods and fan games and stuff. Especially, like, Kaze Emunar, or however you pronounce it, makes so many Mario games. Makes like so many Mario ROM hacks that are, like, seriously mind-blowing. I really have to sit down and try them. Yeah, and, like, the N64 library is interesting because it's pretty tiny, all things considering. And, like, it has, like, no RPGs on it, which is such a shame. I think it's got Quest 64, it's got an Ogre Battle, it's got the Pokemon Stadium games, and then it's got Paper Mario. And Paper Mario is, like, really good. I've heard Quest 64 isn't good, although I do want to play that one day. Yeah, like I said, Pokemon Stadium is boring. I haven't played Ogre Battle 64. I haven't played any Ogre Battle games. I would have loved to have seen, like, a Wario Land on N64. I think that would have been, like, really cute. Yeah, like, I would have really loved to have seen, like, a Wario Land 64. I know a lot of people wanted, like, a Metroid on it. Like, I would have loved to have seen more RPGs on it. Like, yeah, I was talking about this recently. Like, I would have loved to have seen Final Fantasy VII actually come out on N64 and be, like, 500 cartridges long, like that ad was talking about. Yeah, absolutely. That would be great. And I was talking about how, like, I would have loved if Super Mario RPG 2 had like tried to be like a Final Fantasy VII copy where it had like pre-rendered backgrounds with 3D models on top. But ultimately, I think Paper Mario is better than any alternate universe Paper Mario we could have gotten. What we got is basically the perfect version, so that's okay. And the N64, it has like a lot of licensed stuff. It has a small library and a lot of stuff like I didn't get my hands on. But, it has a lot of good games and a lot of games that still surprisingly hold up considering they're some of like the earliest 3D games around. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for that, for the main topic. So we'll move on to the Q&A now. So my questions for you all today are, do any of you guys have any N64 memories? Like any N64 stuff you really want to talk about? Like what are some of your favorite N64 games? Are there any N64 games you wish could get a sequel or a reboot in the future? God, what are some N64 games I'd like to see get a new entry? I mean, Gex is coming back now, Pokemon Snap came back. Killer Instinct came back. Yoshi's Story still technically comes back, Yeah, that's my question. It's not up to me to answer your question, okay? You figure it out for yourself. How's that sound? Now as for answers, I did actually manage to get a question, and it's about Banjo-Kazooie. From 3 months ago, I'm so sorry it took that long. Nekomata779 on my Patreon, thank you. Have you ever played and enjoyed the Banjo-Kazooie games on N64? If so, which one do you prefer more, the first or Tooie? Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, I still haven't played Tooie, but from what I've heard, it probably sounds like I'll enjoy it more. I know they fixed up the thing where like you have to collect like all the music notes in one go. Was not a fan of that. And yeah, definitely as of right now, just because it's the only one I've beaten, I would probably say I prefer Kazooie. But yeah, I will be playing Tooie eventually whenever I get around to it, and my enjoyment of that will probably hinge on how absolutely brutally unnecessarily difficult the finale is. Do I have to nearly 100% the finale of Tui? No? Then I like Tui more. But if I do, then I don't know. We'll see. Is Tui open world? Or am I crazy? I don't know. But I'm very interested to try Tui because it's a very opinionated topic. Like, people are really diehard for whichever one they prefer. So I'm interested to try it. Ultimately, Grunty's Revenge is still better than all of them. Doesn't matter, Uncle Phil, because Grunty's Revenge is still better than all of them. Yeah, if you have any other questions about N64 stuff, I don't know what the next topic will be, but I actually got, a friend of mine sent me a list of some topics I could talk about in the future, so maybe I'll pull something off of that. But feel free to suggest some topics of your own, and when I figure out whatever the topic is, I will ask for some questions. But that's it for the Q&A. Thank you for joining me on that. Now on to the indie game spotlight. So for this time, I'm going to be giving a shout out to some stuff I played a little more recently. First up is Debbie's Diner Derby. This is a super cute little game you can play for free in your browser right now on itch.io. It's got a great art style, it's super charming, and it's actually surprisingly challenging. It's been a little bit since I played it for the first time, but I was really impressed with it. You play as a girl who works in a diner, and she's always wearing roller skates. So you have to go grab their food and then go to their table and serve them without knocking into anything. If you knock into anything, you drop all the plates and you have to go back to the kitchen and try again. Yeah, it was a very fun game, and the goal is to try and beat the levels like as quick as possible, and it's surprisingly tough, but again, it's really cute, and you can play it in your browser. I think you have to play it with a mouse, but that's not a problem. I highly recommend it. Next up is Paradise Marsh. This one is a little more popular than the others I've talked about so far, I think, but it was extremely fun, and it's just a really chill and relaxing game. You play as yourself in a marsh, and you just walk around and catch bugs and interact with the random things you come across. It's a little lonely of a game, like you're the only person there, but you can talk to constellations. That the whole game is about rebuilding constellations, and you can talk to them, and they say some pretty funny stuff. Yeah, it's another one of those games like similar to like Sludge Life, where you just kind of walk around and do whatever you want while just interacting with it, and you can just kind of progress through the story as you see fit. And I love games like that. I ended up, just like Sludge Life, I ended up 100% completing it, and it was very fun, and only one achievement was really difficult, the lily pad one. That achievement was so brutal for no reason, but I had a really good time with it. I really enjoyed Paradise Marsh, and if you just want to play something relaxing and cute, I can't recommend it enough. Next up is Daily Dadish. If you haven't heard of Dadish yet, you're absolutely missing out. It's a trilogy of super cute little platformers where you play as a dad radish, and he has to go around and try and find all of his kids who go missing, and he has a shit ton of children. But this one here, Daily Dadish, is actually an advent calendar. There's 365 levels, one for each day of the year, and every day you just get on it and you just play the new level. The level changes, like every 24 hours, and I think you can adjust your calendar, like you can adjust your internal calendar to actually go back to previous levels, but don't quote me on that. Sorry, but it's really fun. It's really cute. All the Dadish games use the same graphics, so they're all adorable. They all have really good music. They control really nicely. They're really simple, but they're really effective. And this one has 365 levels. That's a lot of levels. And there's even alternate costumes you can unlock. Every 10 levels you get the star in, you can get one costume. Like, every time you beat a level within the challenge time, you get a star, and then every 10 stars you can buy a costume with it. I bought the Cursed Dadish costume, which makes him like black with red eyes, and I never looked back. I use that costume every day. Currently, as of today's level, I am on an 88-day streak. I'm going to try to reach 100, and if I can, I'm going to try and do a 365-day streak, but we shall see if I pull that off. So if you're looking for something to help you build like a routine, or you just want to play something that's different every day, or you just love platformers, I can't recommend Dadish enough. I highly recommend you check out the whole series, or at least just Daily Dadish. And I didn't want to include it as one of the 3 games here, but a friend of mine released a short visual novel on itch.io called User Unknown, or Unknown. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it, but that's unknown without the O. I'll include links to all the games I talk about in the description, so you can just find all of these. But it's a short visual novel about dysphoria, immaculate conception, and PSP homebrew, so if that sounds up your alley, then you should check it out. I know that sounds very specific, but it's a very interesting and weird game. And again, it's just a short little visual novel. It's a good read. I'll probably try to do more shoutouts for friend indie games as we go along. So if we're mutuals on any site and you released a game, you should let me know. Even if like, even regardless of this podcast, you should let me know when you make a game, because I love playing your games and I love all of you, and we should support each other as indie game devs. Speaking of each other, I also released a game earlier this year. I've released like 3 things, but 2 of them were kind of just small little dinky things. One of them was like a tech demo, and one of them was like a game I made to try and join a game jam in an hour, but I couldn't make a game in an hour. Earlier in the year, I released my first ever game jam game, which is called Cartography, and it's just a free little game. You just sail around and try to find a treasure by collecting keys. Nothing amazing, but, it's pretty cute. I don't think anyone figured out the proper way to beat it, but it seems like everyone's beating it. I won't tell you any more than this, but I accidentally included a developer warp to the credits in the game. I don't know if I should say what room it's in, but it's in a room you have to go to. It's not like an optional room. You will have to enter that room if you want to at some point in the game. And I accidentally included the developer credits warp in it. But regardless, yeah, if you just want to play some free games, my game and my friend's game are free, and Debbie's Diner Derby is also free. Paradise Marsh and Daily Dadish cost money, but they're pretty cheap. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I can't believe how much I forgot, about my time playing N64 games as a kid and how much I love them. My brain is just so consumed by SNES and GameCube, I suppose, especially GameCube. Yeah, I guess it's kind of to be expected, considering my opinions change, on a whim. And I'm super forgetful and I forget a lot of crap. And especially when I'm on the spot like this, I just forget stuff so easily. If I ever have to list out games, I forget every game I've ever played. It's actually insane. Yeah, maybe I'm not the best person to be running a podcast where I talk about games, considering I forget everything I've ever played super easily. But, I mean, we're here. It's already happening. It's too late now. And from here, I absolutely will try to do an episode 3. Again, I don't want to just end it, this early in. And maybe for episode 3, I'll try to have a guest in, probably just get one of my siblings or something, or one of my friends to come in. Not going to be a famous guest. It's going to be a guest I know. Unless, am I mutuals with anyone? I'm mutuals with Stop Skeletons from Fighting. We could talk about bad games that we like. Yeah, maybe I'll do that for episode 3, get him on my shitty little podcast. Anyway, yeah, who knows? We'll see. Again, feel free to give any suggestions, ways to improve the podcast. Like I was saying, I had some of my friends were giving me some ideas for things I could do, and I definitely will be doing them. And I definitely will do an episode 3, but considering how long it took to do episode 2, be very patient with me, because I am a slow worker. Lately, I've been also just really swamped with work for games and commission work and stuff. But again, I will try to do episode 3 soon-ish. But it's clear that it's probably not going to be a monthly podcast anymore. Sorry, guys. Before I go, actually, I also should read off the list of my patrons. So yeah, I didn't do this the first time, but I'm not going to be an idiot. I'm remembering it this time. This podcast is Patreon funded by viewers like you. Thank you. Yeah, I have a Patreon. It's where I post out the podcast episodes there first. It's only $1, but if you give me $1 throughout the month, you can give me an idea for something you want to see me sketch, and I'll draw it up for you. And if I make a game that has a credit sequence, I'll put you in the credit sequence, and now I'll read your name off in at the end of the podcast, because I should have done that in the first episode, and I did it for some reason. So currently, my current patrons are... I'm just reading your Patreon names. Let me know, I guess, all my patrons are friends, so you can talk to me about it. So my current patrons are Jojua, Radtitty, Nekomata779, Shotguns and Socialites Gaming, Sanic, Mark Radosi, and the Dominus Ignis. Thank you all so much for your continued support. You all are way too nice to me. I seriously appreciate it. Again, money and stuff is just absolutely crazy right now. So absolutely any support I can get, even just $1 a month, seriously means the absolute world to me. And I love you all so much. The month's actually almost over. August is almost over.
So I'll be doing your sketches soon. So if you want to get a sketch now, so if you want to hurry up and get your sketch suggestion in now, you should go ahead and give me $1 on Patreon. Yeah, in September, most of my projects, like, I'm just going to be kind of just continuing work on, like, Once Upon an Adventure and stuff like that. That's my birthday month, and I know what I'm doing for my birthday project, for my birthday redraw project this year. So, I got to get started on that. There's a lot to do, a lot going on. I'm very happy I finally managed to record episode 2 of this stupid podcast. Yeah, and we'll see where to go from here. Thank you all again so much for listening. That's all from me. You know, again, let me know what you think. Let me know if you had a good time. Answer the questions. Talk about N64 in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, rate 5 stars. Let me know what other topics you want to talk about in the future. That's all I got for you. Go out and play some N64 games.